Hey, beauties, good evening. All right, let us have some serious conversations. Now, sometimes I will hear people say, boy, when a man leaves, you know, he leaves, something like that. And I said, no. The reality is this. You see, when a woman is fed up, generally speaking, if not, I won't say in all cases, but 90 odd percent, very high 90s, the feeling that as people say, the lovey-dovey feeling, the butterfly, that willingness to want the relationship, that wanting of the relationship, the butterflies, all the lovely feelings, they just never return. It's like they're gone. They never return. And one of the reasons is that women tend to have staying power more than men. They tend to have stick to itiveness more than men. And I can see in many instances women tend to initiate divorce on that basis, because what men do not understand is that the woman's staying power is emotional, it is psychological, it is emotional. So you can be, for example, married, and for many years, and you treat your wife bad, and she stays physically because of different reasons. Maybe she doesn't want to give up. If it's a wealthy home, like the man is wealthy, she probably said, oh, God, we have children, or I don't know if I can manage to start all over and to deal with things that is going to cost me. I don't know if I can manage that level of difficulty. So I'll stay in it and pretend. I'm not saying you don't have men who do that, but usually men, they tend to, it's like them head chip, and they don't have that emotional strength like women. So that is why you find a lot of them will probably break up, especially if it's not a marriage situation. They will break up and leave the woman, you know. However, if you check study shows that more often than not, or generally speaking, they're the ones who try to return to their ex. It is a woman who says, I'm talking about if it's an ex girlfriend, fiance, wife who generally treated the men good. Nobody is perfect. No one is perfect. But when the newfound feeling of freeness, or he may find somebody for a little bit, and this excitement, when that wears off, he starts to reminisce. Men tend to be like that, especially the older they get, even more than women. They start to reminisce and think on their exes. And that is why many of them will try and go back to get their ex-girlfriends, ex-wives, and so on. When I talk, if the woman was a Jezebel and evil, I'm talking about a good woman. Sometimes men don't see it. So men, be careful when especially young relationships, when you talk about, oh, let's take a break, constantly, the woman will get turned off. You don't want her to get to that state. If she ever gets to that stage, that phase, dog, nyam. It just doesn't eat it, nyam. Your supper clean, leaving nothing for you. The only being that can resurrect those feelings is God. I'm telling you, it's like you become a big like, sometimes I wonder how they even like you. Sometimes the women wonder, I really like this. You start to look ugly in front of them, in your speech, in your look. It's like you age badly in front of them. I kid you not, men. So listen to me. Treat your woman right. They have a song like that. Treat your woman right. Peter said it. Do not embitter. Do not be harsh with your wives, with your women. Do not, because your prayers will be hindered. Even R. Kelly had sung that song some years ago. When a woman's fed up, listen to it. Listen to the words. There's no turning back. That's how we are as women. It's like everything is just in front of us. Like the big monster, the strong man is facing us. And I said, my God, this is what I really was into. I kid you not, that is how you start to seem to us. Like you look really ugly on the inside and on the outside. Even if maybe you're, physically a handsome person, it's like we can't see that really. We won't get up and say that you're physically ugly, but that it's neither here nor there for us anyway. Because remember, also, we're not moved so much by outward appearance as how you are moved by outward appearance. You know, not to say that a woman is going to take up an ugly man. We see, but what I'm saying, or we're not stimulated, or trigger points are not so much about your head. We might say, wow, what a gorgeous, you know, but after we say all of that and whatnot, the attitude, we start to look at the attitude right away. We go right to the attitude, right to the attitude. The man will hold on to the beauty for a long time, the beauty, the beauty, the beauty for a long time until maybe the woman irritates him, you know, nag, 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 or start to do some things, you know. That's different. You don't want a woman to be fed up. If you have a good woman and she's fed up, let me tell you something. You may have to go in a prayer and fasting for days. Maybe go on a 40-day prayer. I kid you not. And God would probably, you would have to repent. Repent means turning away from your wicked ways and adopting to good ways consistently. Consistently. It's like you just can't go back. Like it just blocked. You wonder to yourself, and sometimes women may try and they realize, this really is not working. Nah, it's not there. It's not there anymore. So be careful. Be careful, men. Be careful. Some of you talk about how the woman, she's like a dripping pipe and all of that. Yes, sometimes I don't encourage women to be like that. I was reading the book of Proverbs recently. I'm now in Ecclesiastes. And 3 different times in 3 different chapters in that same book, it spoke about it. And I said, you know what, this is something concerning. So women, we have to be very, very careful of being a nag. I know it is hard when we see things, especially the man is not, we don't see cleanliness if he's seemingly not clean. You know, using the toilet without closing the seat, wetting up the toilet, leaving the doodle marks, skid marks in the toilet. You know, the bath, the sink is black. You know, the black is up there, and the gunk. The shower is unsightly. It is awful. There's stinking shoes in the living room, scattered, not put together in a corner neatly. The bed spread properly. You know, especially if he's not an army man or somebody who was trained that way. You know, stinking up the bathroom, stinking up the place when he's in body, you know, doo-doo, and Lord, I so many things. Putting on back the dirty clothes, if he takes off the dirty shirt and dirty underwear, wants to put it on back, you know, after you take a shower and it's another day. I mean, I can call so many things that will irritate women. And they will quarrel about it, yes, and I'm not saying that there must be on things like that, you know. Sometimes it's hard to ignore. Sometimes it's really, and how we are wired as women, you see that thing you call the lip, the tongue, the teeth, difficult to close, difficult to not open it and say, because that's our strength. The strength in the man is their physical strength. So you won't find generally men chat like women. So but that's where our strength is. That's where our asset is. So, but you know, as we go along, we try to accommodate each other. But this one is for you men. You treat your woman bad, you will lose her. You will lose her. You will lose her. If you treat her badly, if you verbally abuse her, physically abuse her, psychologically abuse her, financially abuse her, people don't understand. You withhold giving her money, you know, mentally abuse her, make her feel, you know, you gaslight her, make her feel like she's crazy. You don't tell her beautiful words. You're coarse with your words. That is how you emotionally abuse her. And you know the verbal, I don't even know, negative words. I was trying to remember the word. The vitriol, the rancor. If you ever lose that woman, there is nothing, the only being that can cause her to love you all over again is God. Not even she herself can. Some of you might leave quicker than the woman, but you find that most of you tend to return when you realize, oh my God, I gave up gold for bronze. I gave up platinum for washover. I've heard a man said it sometimes, when you leave the 80% woman to go and find it, because the 20% might seem like 80. And when you go out there and the 20% on the outskirts look like 80%, when you realize that you get involved, she only has 20% and you want to chase back to your 80%. Be careful. Be careful, man, because if she's fed up, dog near mess up her. and dinner and breakfast. Guys, follow me on TikTok. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please share this message.